Before we jump into today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Many Realms. If you're looking for Magic the Gathering and Magic the Gathering related supplies, be sure to check out ManyRealms.com. I'll post a link to their website in the video description, so be sure to go check them out. What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG, and today we get our first look at Avatar. We're going to do an Avatar, The Last Airbender collector box opening, and I'm actually pretty excited for this set. And before we start opening packs, I feel like I should disclose that I personally don't have a relationship with the show, with this IP. I know some friends that have watched all the episodes. They really love the show. They're very excited. I don't have that same relationship, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited about the set. I have checked out a lot of the cards from the set, and I think there's some very, very cool stuff, and I'm hopeful that there's some impactful cards in terms of like being multi-format playable cards. I think this set is certainly going to have an impact on Standard, and possibly a couple other formats along the way. But with that being said, why don't we go ahead and dive on in and let's crack some packs and hopefully see some fun stuff today. Okay. Alrighty. Card set. I think the source material lists, there's definitely some bangers on there. As far as uncommons, the fact that they brought back, made a new Rampant Growth seems really good. And then there's a couple of mythics that I would love to see. One of is like Badger Mole Cub, and the other one is Wang Shi Tong. Yeah, I'm excited. Even though I don't have frame of reference. I guess the one thing I'll ask is be forgiving if I mispronounce something, because again, are these? Oh, they are. They're pull tabs. Okay, let's do some things. Also, I guess we should probably say, while I do tend to go over pricing later on, we're obviously pre-release week. We're not going to go discuss pricing. I might take a stab at what cards I think might be cool, but I feel like it's kind of a losing battle to talk about pricing or anything like that. So this is mostly just kind of be about the opening experience, getting a chance to experience a product, get a feel and the layout for the product, the cards, etc. So away we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we start off with the interesting. So I think these are going to be in reverse order. These are going to be all the good stuff on top and then the commons and uncommons on the bottom, right? So we start off with the Moon Spirit. Beautiful frame. And I don't know what's good. So we're going to put a lot of stuff up here. Then we've got our source material. So you're going to get one of these per pack. And a lot like Spider-Man, so you get one of these per pack, and I think they're one in every 26 play booster packs. But there's a 25% chance of foil. So I would suspect that the foils are going to have a really nice premium on them. And if you hit something crazy like Teferi's Protection or the Great Henge or some of the other Force of Negation, those are probably going to have huge, huge multipliers. So we start out with a Fevered Visions there. Next up, we have an Extended Art Iroha Tea Master. And then Lo and Lee Royal Advisors. So it's this card we were talking about in my Discord, and it'd be really fun to pair these with persistent petitioners, and then make the petitioners have some persistent beats, right? Some beat down. Okay, and then the Earth King. Kind of trying to show off the foiling as well. Next up, we hit our land. Yep. And then, so we'll throw the land over there with the tokens. So this is Eternal Legal. So there's a bunch of jumpstart and beginner box stuff in here. So lots of uncommons, and then a bunch of the rares and stuff I suspect we'll see are from the Eternal Legal stuff. So again, that's like a jumpstart product, and I think a beginner box product. Now these are actual set uncommons. Energy Bending, Deadly Precision. Yeah, and then the set. Okay, so that's kind of our first look at the layout of the pack. Interesting. Very curious. I believe with the inclusion of the Eternal Legal stuff that it's going to probably put a little bit more of a premium on getting stuff from the actual base set. Because one of the dedicated slots from that 5 cards before the land is going to be one of the source materials as well. All right, next up we have an ally token. These double-sided? Sure, they sure are. Okay. Next up we have the Grand Lotus in that foil showcase frame. A lot of allies in this set. Three big ally presence, which is kind of cool. We haven't seen allies in a while. Okay. Our source material card is... Oh, Dranith Magistrate. That's another pretty good card. A pretty messed up card in Commander, but a good one nonetheless. What do I have next here? Okay, so there we go. There's another one of those Eternal Legal cards. So let me just decide what I'm going to do with my piles, because at the end I have no idea. There we go. So we have a borderless, not source material, Eternal Legal. Fire Nation Turret. That appears to be a borderless version. Okay. Boomy Eclectic Earthbender. That's another one of those. Sure. Oh, and then a mythic. Phoenix Fleet Airship. This is the one that doubles, and once you get to 8, they become vehicle creatures, and you have a fleet of 4/4 flyers. So, at the beginning of your end step, if you sacrifice a permanent this turn, create a token. So it does take a little bit of a build-up, but, I mean, sacrificing a permanent's not that hard, especially if you're playing in Commander, like, right? You're just fetching every turn. Not that big of a cost. It almost is passive at that point once you've cast it. All right, Lower Plains, and then Frantic Confrontation, Thriving Heath, Capital Guard. We will go through the commons and uncommons like as we go along. We'll probably spend a little bit less time, but I am curious to see the initial round, especially in the first video. I tend to go a little bit longer on these openings. Heartless Act. Oh, Heartless Act's back though. That's actually from the regular set. Oh, this was a pretty good removal card. What was it in Ikoria? Like when Ikoria was in Standard, that was actually a kind of a premium removal spell. All right, Loyal Sky Bison, sure. Waterbending Lesson, Hog Monkey, and Sun Blessed Peak. Okay, all right. The Hope Upon Hope, I think, is obviously, well, if you're really shooting for lottery cards, like I think there's, 4 Neon Ink cards, and those are going to be probably ridiculously tough to come by, as well as like some really special raised foil Aang. But other than that, I think the source material cards, the good foils, are going to come at a premium. And then some of the mythics in this set, I think, are going to have a really, especially if like you pull like a borderless foil version, are going to have a really nice premium on them. So that is Boomy Unleashed. Yeah, 5/4 trample, enters Earthbend 4, so it kind of doubles as 2 bodies. Creates 2, comes in as 2 bodies. When it deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control after this phase or an additional combat phase. Really neat card. Unsure. Oh, we have a foil source material. I actually think this is kind of a hit, but boy, does it look weird. Look at me, I'm a giant face on a card. This is Cruel Tutor, and I know it has been, the card has been the source material of conversation. I think that this is going to be, it being a card that is talked about quite a bit, and also being actually a pretty good card in reprint. I imagine the foil is actually going to be a really nice premium on it, so I'll consider that a hit. Firebending Student. Yo, I think this card's really good. 2 for a 1/2. It's got prowess, and then Firebending X, where X is this creature's power. So Firebending is when you attack with it, you get X red mana. This card could be really impactful, as you know, it doesn't have haste, but prowess, and then you're going to get that mana back in combat. And if you're playing like burn spells or whatever, like I think this card is actually really good. So this pack's been good to us. Didn't finish my thought on our Unleashed guy here, but he's kind of neat too. This is a card I will gladly take, though, and I'm going to put that up top, is I think that is a good card. It's probably kind of a hit as well. Fiery Confluence being back. Not really back. This is the Eternal version, so again, it's probably Jumpstart or Beginner Box. But neat. And then Soka Bold Boomer Ranger. All right, we got our land. Eelhounds. Koala Sheep. A lot of hybrid creatures in here. Another Thriving. So it goes like 3 of those Eternal cards, and then we go into our set uncommons. You're going to get looks like a couple of those, 3 of those, and then we head into our commons from the set. Okay, we have our pattern down. Probably start moving a little bit faster now, but I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to sleeve this really infamous Cruel Tutor. Okay, that was a good pack though. Set Mythic plus a really good foil source material and a Firebending student. I will take that all day long. All right. We'll pick it up now. We've got a layout of the back. Another Mythic here. Another Mythic at the top. Be good. This is the Rise of Sozin. So this is a Enchantment Saga Mythic. And these all flip into a creature after the last chapter, right? So 6 mana, destroy all creatures. Choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name, and then exile them, and then that player shuffles. It's interesting that it says up to 4 cards. Just one of those things where if you were playing against like a persistent petitioners deck, it wouldn't be all copies of that card. It would just be 4. Exile the Saga and then return it to the battlefield transformed. So let's take a look at our source materials first, and then I'll flip over the Saga. Oh my gosh, it's another Cruel Tutor. Interesting. There's the Firelord Sozin. 5/5 Menace, Firebending 3. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may pay X when you do put any number of target creatures with X total mana value less from the grave. Oh wow, card's kind of bonkers. And another Cruel Tutor. I have seen some of that. I've only watched like one other box opening of this. I watched the MTG North boys, and there was, I think they got in every foil source material they got, they also pulled the regular version of that, and that was only one box. It was isolated. I only watched like one box opening, but very, very interesting. Again, I don't hate that as a card. I mean, not love the art. I think it's weird, but pretty good card to pull a source material version of. Oh, My Scornful Striker. This is also quite good. 2 for 2/2 first strike. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, they lose 2 life. In the extended art, Human Noble Ally. And then another Mythic. This is from from Eternal, so a little set symbol there. TLE. Azula Ruthless Firebender. 3/3 Firebending 1. Experience counters. Hey, we are back. Experience counters for the win. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to put that up top. It's a Mythic. How about another Mythic? Oh, let's go! Nice! Badger Mole Cub. All right, so I'm spending a lot of time on this, but I apologize. We're going a little slower here. But 2 for a 2/2. When this creature enters, Earthbend 1. So you turn a land into a creature, and if it dies, it comes back. Really no risk there. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional mana. So I play land. I play turn 1. I play my forest, Land of War Elves. Turn 2, use the Land of War Elves, or use the play another land, tap it, play Badger Mole Cub. Now my elf taps for 2, right? I tap that, and then I can play the new Rampant Growth. And so when I play a land on turn 3, I'll have like 8 mana. That seems like it has some possibilities. I'm just throwing that out there. That goes up top. I'm going to sleeve that in just a moment because that is one of those cards I was very excited to see. Really cool Swamp. And then we've got our 3 uncommons from the Eternal slot. A couple of uncommons from the set. Is it 3? 1, 2, and 3. Yep. And then we hit our commons from the set. I won't read each one, but you can pause if you're interested in one of them and obviously take a look, but just for the sake of time. But that pack was crazy, right? Like, we went Mythic Saga, Borderless Saga, no less, into Cruel Tutor, which is kind of like a true Mythic, into, was it Fiery Confluence? I can't remember, and then into Badger Mole Cub. That, maybe Azula? I don't remember. I don't even remember, but hellaciously good pack. All right. This is pack 5. So far, and we'll see how things shake out, but so far, this feels like a pretty good box. All right. Boiling Rock Rioter. Extended art foil. Put that up top. Into a, can't all be winners, Return of the Wild Speaker. Actually, Earth Rumble Triumph. Kind of a cool card. And Return of the Wild Speaker is certainly a playable card. I don't hate that. Nyla Shearshoe Sleuth. This is an extended art from Eternal. Mix some room here. Oh, no, it's right here. Yeah, we got a pile already. We're good enough. And then a Monk Gyatso, which is an Eternal foil also. Followed by an Earthbender Ascension pack foil rare. Earthbend 2, search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tap. Well, that's not bad also. And landfalls, a land you control enters a quest counter. If it's 4 more quest counters, put +1/+1 trigger creature you control against trample. Okay. It's kind of spicy. Alright, now our island. Whoa, hey, borderless foil uncommon. Dai Li Agents. Interesting. That's from the regular set. So that replaced one of the Eternal cards there. And then Eternal, and into our uncommons we go. Tolls of War, Benevolent River Spirit, Badger Mole. Not Badger Mole. The actual Badger Mole is a common, but the Badger Mole Cub, busted mythic. Got it. Aang's Journey, lots of lessons, a lot of return for lessons, and then Lightning Strike, re-upped for standard. So that means it'll be in standard for another 3 years. Last pack of the first half of the box. First half of the box seems pretty good so far. I cannot say that I am disappointed in the least. That's for sure. All right, here we go. Let's keep that sentiment going. Art card. Earthen Ally, so an extended art foil, human soldier 1 for an 0/2. This creature gets +1 for each color among allies you control, and then Earthbend 5 for Wooburg +2. Probably a little less excited about that one. Meteorite off of our source material, because so I guess there's 61 of these source material cards, and I believe each one represents an episode, if I'm not mistaken. They are all mythic, so there's no different rarities there. Although you will note like the difference between like Cruel Tutor versus Meteorite is one is probably like more like an uncommon and one is probably more like a true mythic, if you will. But Meteorite nonetheless. Followed by Swamp Benders in that borderless Eternal from Eternal. Power and toughness equal to the number of swamps on the battlefield. Oh, interesting. Lands you control are swamps in addition to the other types. So it's also like a little mini Urborg. One-sided. Smellerbee Rebel Fighter. It's an Eternal pack foil rare. So as you see, like there's a heavy presence of that like Jumpstart or beginner box, these Eternal legal cards. Firebending Student. I will take a second Firebending Student from this box. Let's go. That is neat. I don't mind that as a rare. I think that is a really good rare. All right. Founding of Omashu. Flying Dolphinfish. Dragon Moose, which is a Dragon Elk. All right, then we've got Earth Rumble, White Lotus Reinforcements, Zuko's Conviction, Rowdy Snowballers, Walltop Sentries, and we conclude with Rebellious Captives. All right. You know what I'm going to do for the sake of just not wanting to have to keep putting this on top because I think it's probably the more rare. I'll put it under our foil version. So we've got back-to-back super mean face guy. Rawr. All right, second half of the box. So far, really, really happy with the double Cruel Tutor. Badger Mole Cub. I think that Rise of Sozin is good. Double Firebending Students. Pretty happy with that. If we could get Busted Bird Spirit Mythic thing, that would be cool too. Here we go. We start off with, Fire Lord Danny Zuko. Okay. That is kind of cool in that that foiling. I can't remember this. I'll just call it a borderless foil. There's a name for it. It's like a scene art, I think. But that is really sweet. Show off that foiling. Treetop Village. So we have a second foil source material. It is Treetop Village. Man, this card used to see a ton of play. So I'll put that up there. Neat. And then Azula Cunning Usurper and that borderless treatment. We haven't seen like a ton of those and so the borderless stuff, so I kind of favored that a little bit. That's cool. The Cabbage Merchant from the Eternal. Azula, well sure, how about another Usurper? And Forest. Inspiring Call. Yep. And I'm specifically looking for that uncommon Shared Roots, I think is what it's called, the new Rampant Growth. And that will do it there. All right. Time has come to just flat out put our Cruel Tutor on top. Double Mean Guy. All right, next pack. That is a borderless foil, Zuko Conflicted. Extended art foil, Zuko Conflicted. 2 for 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Actually, I think this is an interesting card. Reminds me a little bit of Xantia. Source material is Clone. Neat. Ooh, another mythic. How about another Rise? Wow, duplication. Interesting. I remember seeing it with the source material in the foil, but not necessarily with the actual mythics themselves. Wouldn't mind a Badger Mole Cub then. Fire Nation Salvagers in the extended art foil, that is from the Eternal. Spirit Water Revival as a rare. And these lands are pretty cool too. There's a lot of really good looking lands. All right, Instructor, Nation Soldier, Warrior Guard. And then we move into our uncommons. Leaves from the Vine. Earth Kingdom Protectors. Canyon Crawler. Kyoshi Warriors again. And Octopus Form. Okay. So in theory, we've gotten, if they're 25%, we should be, what, 3 or 4 per box? 1 in every 4 packs, basically, of the foil source materials. That one's, sure, gold stamp art card. Okay. Diligent Zookeeper. So this is that, what is it called? Field research treatment that they did for Bloomborough. And I really like that treatment. What do you actually do though? 4 for 4 for each non-human creature you control gets +1/+1 for each of its creature types to a maximum of 10. I assume the maximum of 10 is because changelings exist, and otherwise they would just be however many creature types there are in the game and 1 creature. But that is a really neat card in its own right. Next up, Warstorm Surge from the source material, non-foil. Yeah, okay. Duplication is we are so back with duplication. That's what I'm really saying. Master's Guidance. That's the Eternal Legal. Pack Foil. Momo Friendly Flyer. 1 for 1/1. Oh, okay, all right. If we had gotten counters on it then that would have been probably pretty busted. But Run Amok. Consider. Good old Consider. Nice to have options for different versions of Consider, I suppose. Trusty Boomerang. Accumulate Wisdom is an interesting card if lessons end up being good, especially when Strixhaven comes back. If we get some really good lessons there, then all of a sudden maybe that's a real card. All right, we've got 3 packs left. Okay. Momo Friendly Flyer again. This time as the Field Research Borderless Foil. Okay. Ooh, foil source material. It is. Yeah, all right. Well, so does that mean we're in for a Treetop Village? Because we have an Earth Rumble Triumph. Boy, I'm really happy for the double Cruel Tutor then, because that could be especially challenging, right? I'll put that up just a second. Suki Kyoshi Captain. Extended art from the Eternal Legal, Smeller Bee, Rebel Fighter Extended Art Foil. Hey, I will not be unhappy about a second Mai Scornful Striker. So we doubled up on our Firebending Student and Mai, which I think might be 2 of the better rares in the set. There's a couple others out there that I think are really good, but we haven't seen them. All right, Long Shot. The Art of Tea. Stand United. And then Kyoshi Island Plaza. Momo Playful Pet. Boy, a lot of Momo. Judy. Pillar Launch, Abandoned Attachments, Origin of Metal Bending. Okay. So we are up to 3 of the foil source materials. And we doubled up, one of them being Cruel Tutor, which is, again, I think the fact that that card is just heavily talked about and a Cruel Tutor makes it have some inherent value. But we'll see how things shake out. We have 2 packs left. Of note, not counting the source materials as mythics, we are at 6 mythics otherwise. Thankfully, one of them is Badger Mole Cub. Here we go, 2 packs. We have the last of Agni Kai. What do you do? 2 creatures fight on the creature. Oh, right, and then you get mana equal to the difference. And until end of turn, you don't lose mana, unspent red mana as phases end. Interesting card. Not sure what to make of it. I have read it and seen it, but that is the borderless foil version. Next up, we have Prosperity. Good old Prosperity. Each player draws X cards. Toph, Earthbending Master. So we have another mythic, this from the Eternal Legal. So we've this one, the extended art. Whenever a land you control enters, get an experience counter. My, oh my. Some decks are going to eat that card up. Next up, we have Avatar Kyoshi Earthbender. So another Eternal. So we have 3 mythics now that are that Eternal symbol. Okay. We'll read more of that later. A lot of text there. Airbender Ascension. Kind of a cool rare. And then we are in Plains. All right, Whirlwind Technique. Kindly Customer. Fists of Flame. Price of Freedom. True Ancestry. Earth Kingdom Jailer. And that's going to end it there. All right, last pack of this first box. Again, we do go a little long in this first box. We'll go faster in future openings, but I do like to take my time with the initial opening as I get to know the set and the layout of the packs, etc. Here we go. Sandbender Scavengers, extended art foil. Into a source material Heartbeat of Spring. Fire Nation Salvagers, I think that's at least the second time we've seen that card. Fire Nation Archers, okay. Sure, this is the regular version of this card. And that's going to do it there. Bolt Bend, pretty good card. Cloud Shift, Deer Dog. Last set of uncommons here. Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, Combustion Man, and Ember Island Production, Platypus Bear. All right, so initial thoughts. I thought we did exceedingly well in that first half of the box. We slowed down a little bit in the second half. Couldn't be all gas, no brakes. We did end up with 8 mythics in total, albeit 3 of the are from the Eternal sheet, if you will. And I don't know what those look like. But I'm excited about Badger Mole Cub in landing a copy of that. I think that card is really, really good. The Cruel Tutor, getting one of those as the source material. The other were Return of the Wild Speaker and Treetop Village, and then getting, of course, a regular version. We didn't double up on Treetop Village, but we did see a regular Cruel Tutor and a regular Earth Rumble Triumph in there along with the foil version. So I wonder if that's going to be something that we come to expect from future openings of this product. Rare on the rare side, like I thought we did really well. I'm happy to get my Scornful Striker getting doubled up on those copies, and then getting doubled up on the Firebending Student. Some really cool treatments in here. I like it. And again, even as someone who doesn't have familiarity and thus the same amount of love that some of you do for Avatar, I think the set is really cool. I really like a lot of the art treatments in here. So I dig it. I'm looking forward to playing with some of these cards. Anyways, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me. And by all means, drop me some comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much, everybody. And be well.